Hello, hey guys. Sorry I am late. Thank you for sticking around. I had to take care of a little family thing, but it all got taken care of. Apologies for the delay. Let's see, Sentinel, how you doing? Beta Ray Bob, I am. As soon as my live stream's over, I'm gonna go watch yours and Outers. Look like a good one. Can't wait to see what you learned. Let's see. Superman Masters. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. Sentinel. Jeff, welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. Tech 489, how are you? Pinker, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, guys. Sorry about the delay again. Just waiting for my son's ride, and it hadn't showed up, and I didn't want to just leave him and start the stream without saying goodbye to him, like you guys probably, family first, right? And then all the other stuff, then the hobby, then those other things. So thank you for coming. Appreciate you guys sticking around, especially me being almost 10 minutes, 15 minutes late. Let's see. Let's just jump right into it. We are going to talk a little bit about the Superman from Spin Master. That stuff is going to be one of my topics tonight. So for you guys that are new, I don't know if anyone's new, maybe someone's watching, it's not watched before. I am Diehard 3.75. My channel is dedicated to 3.75 and 118 action figure collecting. And that includes world building, army building, reviews, hauls, and I like to do showcases of pieces of my collection. And this last 2 weeks, because this show is every other Sunday, I did do a showcase video in the last 2 weeks. I was able to get 3 videos out last week, and I thought I was going to do that again this week. And I just got super busy with work. Actually, I had to go in again on days that I don't usually go in. So I just couldn't get anything done. But I did start my next video. It's about halfway done. It's going to be a world building, like a custom thing that I did. With I painted and all that, so the video takes a little longer because when you paint, you have to let it sit overnight, and so half the video is done. That video will hopefully be out Tuesday, Wednesday, I hope. But in the last 2 weeks, I did do a video on the Hiya Toys Negan figure. This guy right here, very good figure. Did a video on him. The showcase was on. Hopefully you guys saw it. This building right here that I picked up, got this off of eBay, secondhand Empire Toy Works building. Very cool piece. Kind of out of the blue for me, but I saw it, so I went for it. And then I also did a haul video, my haul for the month of April. So 3 videos. Hopefully I can get another 3 out this week. We'll see what happens. I think I've got to go in tomorrow, so it's going to be tough. Doesn't have elbow or bicep swivel. No, he doesn't. Yeah, no bicep swivel. It is a hinge at the elbow. No spin, no twist. And he doesn't have butterflies either, like some of the Joes have had and the Star Trek stuff. I think the big hit with this one, I think, is how good of the sculpt it is. And what you can use this guy for because of his outfit. If you're not a big Walking Dead fan, you can always use this guy for something else. And I do think the head sculpt and the skin tone is so much better than what we've been getting with the Star Trek and the G.I. Joe stuff. Haya's always had a little bit of trouble with the portraits, but not this time. Not this time. Very solid figure. I think worth trying out. Not the most articulated, no. Yeah, and he has a bit of a rocker ankle, but it's limited because of the cuff of his pants. Haya has, recently, with the Star Trek, the Joes, and now this, it doesn't seem that they have a uniform articulation that they just use no matter what. Seems like it, each figure, they kind of look at what they can put in it and what not to put in it. And in this case, you know, they left out those swivels. So that's a shame about the Negan. I hope the rest of the Walking Dead line isn't like that. Yeah, I don't know. Can the head fit on other lines? I think so. I believe it's on a barbell. So yeah, I haven't popped it off, but unlike those Star Trek figures, it's a traditional, more of a traditional ball joint, and it's not at the collarbone like those Star Trek figures. So yeah, some curious design choices. I wish I could get in Haya's head and figure out why. Don't know. That is the first one. So I think, you know, after we see a few more, we'll know, are they all going to be like this, or is it by character? You know, I would think, again, I don't know the story. I would think that this guy's, you know, he's got a bat and he's kind of athletic, that he would need that articulation, you know, like a Mon Mothma figure doesn't necessarily need to have ball jointed hips and rocker ankles. This guy, I don't know his story, but I would think that he's an action, you know, a fighter, and he would need all that articulation. So I'm not really sure why they did that. It's still a good figure, though. It's still a really good figure. Not super articulated, though, like we really hope for and expect right in 2025. So those three videos are up. I kind of mentioned the next video is a world building one custom thing that I've been working on. It's pretty simple. There's not much to it. It's just there's painting involved, so it had to dry. I think, you know, going forward, like thinking about my channel and everything, I think I'm going to try to start doing a little more Star Wars. It is my favorite line, the Vintage Collection. And it seems like when we do these live streams that most of you, if not all of you, collect Star Wars Vintage Collection. And I have kind of neglected it on my channel. So I'm hoping to change that and do a few more Star Wars videos. We'll see. We'll see if I can. Okay, so let's jump into the news. There wasn't that much news, but there were a few things that I wanted to talk about. And I do have a topic a little bit at the end. I've kind of flip-flopped on topics, what we're going to talk about. But I have something here I think have a good discussion. Have you seen King of Fire figures? I have seen them. We're going to talk about them here in just 1 second. That is on my list of news and things to talk about. Talk about the things you love. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah. And I love Star Wars. Okay, so we'll have to see if those Negan arms can be swapped out for some articulated ones. Yeah, possibly. You know, Joy Toy, even as I don't know if that's, you're picking that up on the microphone. You always have to be a little bit careful. Sometimes that plastic, the joints are a little brittle, especially that wrist. But maybe a little bit of heat, probably pop that right out. Yeah, he does have the classic Haya wrist. Yeah, no swivels, no bicep swivel, no thigh swivel. Yeah, some curious selections for articulation with this guy. I think the sculpt, though, is, you know, and the paint of the face is just terrific. So yeah, it will be interesting when this gets wider out there. I haven't really, it was one of the reasons I did the video on him, was I hadn't seen anyone else, or I think there was one or two other people that have done videos on that. And I thought I might as well get it out there. And the video got a lot of views. It got a lot of negative views too. I did take down a comment or two. I guess that just goes with the territory when you're reviewing things, you know, and as more people see your channel, you know, the other people come out too. So yeah, Haya and Joy Toy joints can be hit or miss. Yeah, they can be brittle. Yes, TVC fan here. Yeah, me too. Did you get the Tatooine set? I did get that set. I opened one up, and I'll be talking about that. In one of my videos. Haya is driving in reverse. It seems like it, huh? Yeah, it does. Let's talk about that a little bit. But let's start off with this first. I think this is, in some ways, this is kind of the elephant in the room a bit. We've talked about the Spin Master, Superman stuff on and off throughout my live streams. Was pretty excited for this line. I'm not anymore. I'm pretty bummed. I actually, just to kind of make sure, I actually ordered that Superman Kaiju set from Amazon. I saw it came up, got it home, 6-inch figure, and I returned it already. I already returned it, already got a refund. It was just a matter of days. As soon as I saw the scale of it, I returned it. The last thing I need is to start collecting a new scale. But this kind of goes along the lines of when we had talked, and I think it was actually the last live stream when I issued my correction about the How to Train Your Dragon figures. They were not 3 3/4. You know, they weren't 375 when I found them in the store. They were this scale. They were 3-inch. I want the Droid Pack from the Book of Boba, and I still don't know where I can get them in Mexico. Yeah, I don't know either. That was on a Disney. That was on the Disney site, I think, only. I believe. Yeah, I did not pick up that set. It looks cool though. It looks cool. But I'm wondering now if Spin Master has, you know, they have to have some kind of analytics that they looked at and said, who's buying our toys? You know, who's buying them and for who? Who is buying them and who are they giving them to? It's not a collector's line. It is a kid's line. It seemed out of the blue that the Dragon stuff would be 3-inch. But now it sort of makes sense if the Superman stuff is 3-inch too. Maybe they're just going to 3-inch. Maybe it's just their movie lines because those are the two, you know, they're both based on movies. So we know now it doesn't look like Spin Master is going to do 375 Superman. It's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to this set. One of the things that I'm kind of surprised though too is, and this is from Action Toy Now on Instagram. I think you guys, most of you are probably familiar with him or following him. I'll just put this in the chat in case you're not. I want to give him credit for doing this. These are the same scale, nearly identical to the McFarlane Page Punchers. But I think the Spin Master ones have knee, so they have 7 points instead of 5, which I think the Page Punchers are 5. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're 124, 125 scale. I think that's how that works. But even less articulated because even the Spin Master stuff, if I remember, had thigh swivel, I believe. Or yeah, thigh swivel, I'm pretty sure. But it's disappointing. There has to be some reason behind it, you know, some kind of internal business decision. It's really disappointing. I'm surprised that because of the scale of the Page Punchers, people have always kind of said, and I've never actually heard this from the horse's mouth, so to speak. If one toy company has the license to that scale, typically another company, right, can't do the same figures in the same scale. Now, not the same exact figures, but you know what I mean? If McFarlane has, or Marvel has the Black Series, they have Star Wars 6-inch. Typically, someone else can't do 6-inch Star Wars, right? These are like almost, from these pictures, they look like they're almost identical scale. Articulation's a little different. I'm just kind of surprised by that. Some people want kid figures for their 118. They could use these. Yeah, they could. And those dragon figures, because they're teenage kids too, that would work as well. But it seems like Spin Master's kind of going into its own sort of scale, its own kind of universe. Now, maybe a month or two back, we talked about how there was a big announcement from Mattel saying that they have regained the DC license. And Jeff Jabalong in Toy City had pointed out that there was a press release when Spin Master renewed the contract. I think it said mid-26. That's when their contract actually expired. And I was listening to the JC on Toy News International, and he seemed to think that it was calendar year. But I tend to believe more the press release that Jeff found sometime in 26, the license will revert over to Mattel. away from Spin Master, away from McFarlane. So there's that chance that, you know, maybe Mattel will pick up the 375 scale like they have Jurassic, like they have the Minecraft, and maybe they'll give us a 375 DC figures. If not, you know, it looks like, you know, this is the end of the DC for now, you know, just for now, the end of the DC line for 3.75 118 with Spin Master. I'm not sure. Maybe they're keeping the movie stuff different from like the comic book stuff, because remember they've always had the sort of the movie figures, and then they had their sort of the Batman and the superhero stuff that wasn't associated. They were just DC figures. They weren't associated with any media so much, like movie. But we'll see. It's unfortunate. And this whole time I kept thinking where they were 375. Another thing too is they're doing 6-inch figures, and you know McFarlane does 7. I don't really know. It just seems counterintuitive to do a 6-inch and a 7-inch figure of the same thing. You know, it's not that different. But maybe it is articulation. You know, compare a McFarlane sculpt and paint to a Spin Master sculpt and paint. I'm sure there is some difference there if you have them together. We'll see what happens. Yeah, when Jazzwares lost the 6-inch Fortnite to Hasbro, they tried to pivot to 2.5 Fortnite. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, I still see some of those every now and then at Ross. So it's unfortunate it happened. You know, not much we can do about it. I had thought that like this set was going to be, you know, 3 3/4, but it, you know, it is 3 inches, so that's not good for me. You know, they had this set with the Fortress of Solitude. Maybe some of these pieces will still work in a diorama or something. I don't know if this is 6-inch or 3-inch. But the set that I did pick up was the one with the kaiju that had the ooze in the stomach. I'm not seeing it now on here, but I did grab it, and I was like, oh, great. And then it showed up, and it was the wrong scale. So I returned it, man. It was $30. So I got my $30 back, and that's okay. I have a lot of things to collect. I'm not going to cry over it, you know. Never saw the purpose for a 7-inch line when 6 inches pretty much the standard. Exactly. And that's the oddity with the 3-inch, because I guess the page punchers are 3-inch, but it's not really a scale, you know, that I know. I mean, maybe the kids like it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, 7-inch, it never made sense to me either. But we'll see. We'll see. So I didn't want to talk about that. Unfortunately, we'll start off with a little bit of bad news. But it can't always be good all the time. All right, let's move on to Haya here. We started off talking about the Negan figure. Here we go. And you can see right here off the bat in this picture, she looks like she has thigh swivel, which the Negan does not have. Hard to tell the rest of the figure. I don't know how to say her name. Is it Michonne? I'll wait for Jeff to spell that out for me, or pronunciate that out for me. But she looks already like she has 2 more points of articulation than the Negan figure. So maybe that's just it, you know, maybe that she's more of an athletic character that needed to have those things. This looks like a really badass figure, guys. Michonne or Michonne, like bone. Michonne. There we go. Michonne, like bone. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So here is Michonne, and she looks really good, guys. I could see this being used like in your boss fight fantasy stuff, that she would look good fighting the boss fight. We haven't got it yet. I forgot her name now. Oh shoot, the redhead that's on pre-order from Boss Fight. She would look good fighting her. I know nothing about Walking Dead, but Michonne, yeah, I said that right. Figure looks really nice. Yeah, it does. Red Sonja. Yeah, she would look really good fighting Red Sonja or she seems to be like in that universe. I don't know anything about Walking Dead as well, but it looks like a really solid figure, and it's a female, a female figure. Looks like she's kind of like a ninja or some kind of samurai. She got a katana, looks really cool. Looks like a rocker ankle. It's hard to tell the bicep if there's a bicep swivel there. I don't. Yeah, there might be, right. There might be right under that shoulder armor. Bit hard to tell. But she looks cool. I thought, not the head sculpt, but I kind of thought that the outfit, the armor, it almost reminded me of the bald female warriors from Black Panther. I forgot what they're called. But those girls, they had kind of a similar outfit, the brighter colors, but sort of like the what is it, a corset bustier kind of armor. This looks a little more rugged, but it looks good. It looks like a really good figure. I did pre-order this figure right off of Haya's website. Same actress. Oh, is it? But she's with hair in this one? It makes sense. It makes sense. I didn't know that. I didn't actually see that in the face, but now that you say that, yeah, it does kind of look like her, huh? Is that her? That's interesting. Yeah, I did pre-order this off the Haya Toys website. I have stopped ordering Haya stuff from the Haya store on Amazon. They canceled too many of my Star Trek orders. They canceled too many of the Walking Dead stuff that I ordered from them. I'm going directly to Haya now, to their store directly and ordering. So I did order this girl. Pinker's asking, does anyone know what happened to the little alien from Haya Star Trek? It's been pre-ordered for a long time. No. That was one of the figures, or I don't know what happened to it. Maybe someone in the chat does. That was one of the ones I pre-ordered from the Haya store on Amazon that they canceled. They just sent me an email one day saying they can't fulfill the order. It's canceled. So I quickly went to Gundam It, and I pre-ordered it on there. But no, I haven't heard a thing about it. Haya's been it's weird, right? They're real hot, they're real cold. And the end of last year, we were getting a lot of good stuff, right? We got a lot of Star Trek, and the Joes were rolling in. And this year, this guy is the only thing that I've gotten from them. And we're already in, May. So I don't know if it's a factory thing, production thing. I really don't know. I think Haya has pivoted its production to quick wins, focusing on the uniform figures that reuse the same body. Yeah, that would explain the Star Trek, right? That would explain the Star Trek, the Federation people. Yeah. Yeah, and I bet I don't know. Maybe there's pieces of this guy that they can use for one of the other, maybe the boots or the pants or something that they can use for some of the other characters. Jeff is saying, I also wonder if they are having second thoughts about going deep on the Trek 2009 movie figures, not showing off the OS and Strange New World figures. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Haya is doing. I thought they had solicited too on the Instagram Haya page. They had asked for people, they were looking for collaborators. And I never heard what happened with that. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm still waiting for the new boss fight orc. Me too. I've been checking their news on the boss fight page, and wasn't it supposed to be this month? I think it was. Imagine if they made Star Trek First Contact figures. Yeah, that would be great. Sticking along the lines of what Jeff said, I don't understand why, if that's the case, they can't do a Romulan army builder or a Klingon army builder where they just have to change the head. The accessories would need to be the same. The body could be the same. It seems like real low hanging fruit that they could grasp if they wanted. Not quite sure. But this figure looks really good. Does it have a date on here? Can't remember what the date was. Q1 of 26. So it's quite a ways out there. Quite a ways out there. People actually learn to split king line. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah. Bring on some DS9 figures. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, Star Trek Army Builders. I know. I've been calling for that from day one. Because we have a good squad now of Federation guys in different colors. It's just you can't head swap, or you can, but you got to really take the figure apart. For the boss fight, oversized orc I've seen in factory surplus parts show up in China. Oh, you have? Okay. So should be getting closer. Awesome. All right, we're going to stay with Hiya here for a sec. Because they've been really quiet on the G.I. Joe, haven't they? Here we go. We've got Outback. There just seems no, 1 week it's Walking Dead, the next week it's G.I. Joe, the next week it's Godzilla. They're just kind of slowly putting things up for pre-order, but not fulfilling all of their other pre-orders. But this figure looks pretty good. I never had Outback as a kid. He does look pretty cool. Until I get the figure in hand, I'm not quite willing to say that it does in this rendering, this picture. The face looks pretty good. The head, the hair. Not quite as good as this guy, but this is based on a real person, and this is probably a rendering off of a comic book video game kind of classified figure. But he does look really, really good. He looks like he's got some new, a new backpack. I think these weapons look new. He's even got looks like the old school flashlight there. Lots of accessories here. But it looks good. It looks really good. He's 4.3, so he's a little bigger guy too. Here's one of my favorite figures. Is it? Yeah, I didn't have him as a kid. I wanted him, but I did not have him. And he's like the survival expert, right? That's why he's got that survival shirt on. He's an expert in survival, wilderness survival, camouflage pants. Looks good. Looks really good. The face does look really good right here, but until until I get him in hand, I'm not totally sold. But if he comes out looking like this, that's nice. With the G.I. Joe line, the Flint, his face was not that good. The Lady J is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. They've had trouble with in my opinion, the skin tone, but they nailed it with this guy. It looks very natural. Looks very real. The neck and the head and the hands, they all match really well. But some of the Joes, the best Joes so far have been masked or, like face covered figures. The Baroness wasn't too bad. With Hiya Joe faces, it feels like they are going to some stylized look, maybe from a comic book or something. Yeah, I think so. Hiya has on the poor side when it comes to human faces and skin tone. That's what I think too. It's not their strongest. It's not their strongest thing. But maybe they're getting better. It's kind of hit or miss, it seems like. Figures Out. Welcome, Figures Out. Found a Hiya Judge Dredd female figure for $4 the other day. It looks great so far. Definitely going to do a custom on her and salvage pieces off. Yeah. Is it Hershey? I have that. I have Hershey and Anderson. I think it's probably one of those two. They use the same buck. They're not bad at all, and they're based on a comic book, or I think it's comic book. So those figures they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Nice looking flashlight here. Now that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's an old school flashlight. Vietnamese, like a tunnel rat type. The blonde. Okay, I think that's Judge Anderson. Yeah, that line, I don't know how far Walking Dead will go. It looks like the G.I. Joe's already gone quite farther than the Dredd ever did. You just never know how long Haya is going to have the license. They seem to have the Predator and the RoboCop for years on end, and the Judge Dredd, it seemed to come and go, 15 figures or so, and then it was done. And they really only did, 3 or 4 bad guys. It was, Judge Dredd, 3 different ways. There was a lot of potential with that line, and maybe it didn't go far. I'm not really sure, but it seems that it's quietly just kind of gone away. So I'm assuming that it's done. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the Mean Machine, that guy, like the guy with the robot arm, I thought that was probably the best figure from that line. And last I checked, he's extremely hard to get now, at a reasonable price. I think the word got out that was, he was a really good figure, and he got gobbled up. A little bit easier to find some of the judges. I still kind of kicking myself, and I know it's still out there, was getting the motorcycles, getting the bikes. Yeah, Mean Machine. Yeah, he's good, isn't he, Tech? He's a very good figure. The Joes are so hard to get. I wish they were on BBTS. Yeah, they are hard to get. They are. Yeah, he's a good one. So yeah, Outback's out there. I did try to pre-order this one as well. I think I got this one. I pre-ordered this one on Locker or Cool Toys. The crocodile looked fun too. Yeah, he is pretty good. I had to think for a second. Yeah, I actually got a couple of those. One of the first videos I ever did on the channel here was on those guys. They are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. I thought there was a time I was going to army build those, but they're a little bit more expensive because they're bigger. And then they kind of, all the Judge Dredd, the non-judges, Mean Machine, the crocodile guy, they all got kind of hard to get. I hear a cat and a dog. Yeah, my dog was over here coughing up something. Yeah, I think my wife got it. Yeah. But yeah, Outback's out there. He looks good. Yeah, I'm really into the Joes. Hopefully they keep coming. I don't think I've gotten one this year. So the last 3 or 4 months they just kind of went away. I want that Outback and Spirit Iron Knife. Yeah, me too. There's so many Joe figures out there that they have not, fulfilled the orders yet. I just don't know what to do. I did army build the Vipers, the Alley Viper, and the Cobra Trooper, and the Crimson Guard guy. I army built those guys. I bought a lot of them. So still waiting on them. Those pre-orders, they take that money, they cash it out. And unlike, BBTS or even Hasbro Pulse, where they don't charge you till it ships. Cool Toys, Locker Toys, where I was getting my Joes, they take that. They take you pay right then. Is still light out where you're out? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's only about 6:49 here. It stays light until just about 8:30, 9 o'clock now. I wasn't able to get any of the ones you mentioned. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I army built them. I bit the bullet and I said, I better order these now. And I just, as soon as they came up, I grabbed them. I've been pretty much using that strategy with all the G.I. Joes because of the fact that they're selling out so quickly. Yeah, it's kind of the only way to do it. I think the only American retailer, right, that has these is Small Joe's, and it doesn't look like they get all of them, or if they do, it might be in small groups because I think even they sell out. But smalljoes.com, I think, might be an outlet if you're here in the States and you're trying to get these Joes. But, there is a little bit of a markup on them, which is, to be normal, pretty normal. You're getting, what would it be, like second retailer or whatever, they buy them and then they resell them. So they have to put a little markup on there. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Let's switch to Joy Toy now. King of Fighters. Look at these guys. These guys look pretty cool. One of the first live streams I did when I started doing these, I think it was in December. I either did it it was either December or January. I talked about the the things I was most looking forward to. If I remember off the top of my head, it was like the Cantina, the Vintage Collection HasLab, and these guys. Now, when Joy Toy announced them on their Instagram page, they didn't say what the scale was. And I know that they have dabbled in 112. So I am pleasantly surprised, right? This is like the opposite of what Spin Master did. I'm pleasantly surprised that they did these in 118 because I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to get these at 112 scale. I'm not sure if like Storm Collectibles or, you know, who else might be doing these. So maybe they're already out there in 112 scale. But these look really good. Let's go here. I think I like the guy in black the best. He just looks really cool. Really cool style. Those are awesome. I pre-ordered. I'm worried about the tariff prices. Yes. My Shiranu, please. That one of the characters. They're expensive with shipping and tax at Small Joe's. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. That range of variant size on these guys. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not familiar with the game. I did not play King of Fighters. So I'm not sure. And I'm guessing, you know, this is kind of their version of Ryu or Ryu. And this looks like their version of maybe of Guile because of the hair. That's why I'm saying that. I don't know that for sure. I am kind of laughing at the mid-drift shirt there. It's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's its own style, you know. But I think the guy in the middle looks the best. Cool flame effects. I think these guys had some really cool. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong box here. I think these guys had some really cool flame effects. That looks pretty cool. That could be used for lots of stuff, I think. I did pre-order these. As well. It's a 3-on-3 fighting game. Okay. In a game, they're a team. Okay. I did notice that they wrote, it says Japan team. And then I think on like Locker Toys or Cool Toys, it said something like Heroes. So I'm assuming if they have a hero team, they must have a bad guy team. Or maybe it says Japan team, so the teams are by country. It's a lot of effects. It is. You're right, Sentinel. And they seem to all have it. You know, they all have their own. I'm guessing these are like their specials. This guy looks. Let's see if I click on this dude. Looks massive, doesn't he? Got the grappling hands. Yeah, this guy looks really cool. That effect right there. That is pretty awesome. But yeah, these guys look really good. I was really happy to see that they put these, you know, in the correct scale for me, and you know, they went right up for pre-order. So, you know, Joy Toy tends to, you know, I'll say they overdo it. So I would expect, you know, within the next year, we're probably going to have 12 more figures on pre-order. The way that they push things out, these look like they would match up really well with the Turtles as well. You can learn about the characters on King of Fighting cartoon web series. Oh, they have a web. Okay, yeah, that sounds like good nighttime watching. $30 for 3 or individually. And I think there is like a very minor discount of $1 or something on like Cool Toys or Locker Toys if you order all 3 at once. Imagine if they kick you with those shoes. I know, huh? It'd be tough to walk on those, but I guess you can do it. What site is it that I pre-ordered for 50 each? Oh, did you? Yeah, I think on the Joy Toy website, they're a little bit more expensive than they are. Or is it the shipping that's more expensive? Yeah, you kind of have to play around. I've only seen them in the 3 places, the Cool Toys, Locker Toys, and the Joy Toy website. It's a decent series for a freebie. I'll give it a try. And welcome to the show, Cammy. But yeah, they look good. It's my dog again. I don't know if you heard that. But these look really good. I'm glad to see, if anybody, it's nice that Joy Toy, is got the license. 11 centimeters. So 10, wasn't it 10 centimeters is 4 inches. So this guy's probably what, 4.5, 4 3/4. Not sure what that is. Someone probably can do the math. I don't know centimeters. This guy looks pretty tall, and I'm guessing it's that hair right there. I was thinking too, is because I don't really care for the hair, that's why I'm making fun of it. If it's Joy Toy, most Joy Toy parts are universal. So you might have an Army Builder $17 Joy Toy figure that the head might fit on this body, and you could easily swap that out. I don't know that for sure, but I'm guessing 1 inch equals 2.5 centimeters. Okay. David Toys carries. Oh, okay. David Toys. Yeah. Their official distributor. Oh, good. I didn't know that. A couple streams ago, I looked at some Joy Toy, some like base diorama playset things that David Toys has. I was interested in getting one. BBTS is where I ordered. Oh, okay. You got them at BBTS. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't looked on there. I probably should have looked on there. But I did not. Now that Joy Toy started doing SNK games, I would like to see Samurai Showdown. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this. I can't remember when, but it does seem that video games seem to be, when I was a kid, it was cartoons. It seems like video games now are a way, to bring people into action figure collecting the same way when I was a kid that cartoons were, because so many kids play video games now, and how, there's not a lot of that I know of. I mean, I'm not in tune anymore. My son's too old now, but we don't watch a lot of cartoons anymore, except for like Star Wars, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And I did watch, I mentioned the DC Metalverse kind of series on DC Kids or DC WB Kids or whatever it is on YouTube. But it does seem like, video games are kind of the way to go. And you're right. There's so many games out there. And what Jakks Pacific is doing Sega. We've got this Joy Toy doing SNK. Jazzware is doing Halo, Fortnite. Video games seem to be the new sort of outlet. In the game, he's not gay, if anyone wanted to know. It's the shirt, I think. It's the shirt. It's the midriff kind of. But, I'm old enough to remember when in the 80s when, people got, just straight guys wore this type of shirt. It just, you did. If you rode a skateboard, if you were out in the hot sun one, this was a totally, acceptable thing to do. Looks a little funky now. But I'm guessing they're staying true to the game. He's even got, look at that, he's got leather soles on his shoes. I mean, this guy looks really good. He's funny looking, but he looks really good. And he's got that Joy Toy articulation, so he probably can do any dynamic pose. Looks like he comes with another head sculpt. Is that what I saw? I might have went past it already. It looks like he came with they don't show that one. Or maybe I missed it. Yeah, I don't see it. But it looks like he's got two different faces. He's got this sort of, static pose, and then he's got this, oops. Oh, sorry guys, there it is. He's got this sort of yelling face. But I would definitely look at swapping the head, because I don't like the hair. It's like taking Guile's hair and like dialing it up. I always thought Guile's sort of flat top was kind of funky, but this is like above and beyond that. Metal Gear Solid, yeah. Metal Gear Solid would be cool too, yeah. 118. I have never seen the elbow articulation before. Looks like a floating hinge. Let's see if I can find a better picture. Yeah, that looks similar to what the no. I was gonna say the 52 Toys Streets of Rage guys, they have like the same kind of knee. But yeah, you're right. That elbow looks a little bit different. It looks like the knee, where you're right. It goes underneath the forearm and the bicep, huh? Really trying, and Haya's been doing this too. They're really trying hard to hide the joints now. Um, maybe wait, I've discussed this like a couple of years ago on when I used to do this on Instagram, the live streams. What is the next, thing? We've got all these butterfly joints and rocker ankles, and they. What is the next evolution of articulation for 118? And maybe it's pinless hiding joints like these elbows here, because Haya's been trying to do this too. And that Star Trek figures, I think the intent was there, but by putting, the articulation under the shirt, but then it doesn't allow for customization. So there's like that give and take. But isn't it McFarlane or someone, they hate the cuts, or Super 7, they hate how sometimes those cuts and the articulation break up the sculpt. And some people don't like that, how it looks, but some people absolutely want that so they can pose them more dynamically. It's such a balance, and it's hard to please everyone. These look good though. These look good, and I trust Joy Toy. Joy Toy, unlike what we were talking about with the highest stuff, they do seem to have a set of articulation, and they keep it regardless of what the figure is, the line is. These guys look to have the same articulation as the Ninja Turtles, as their military stuff, as their Battle for the Stars things. I don't have enough of the 40K to know if it's the same, but it does seem like they're more universal with their articulation. I'm guessing they'll do my favorite King of Fighter figures coming soon. Yeah, I would imagine these three guys are going to need someone to fight. That's what I would think. That's what I would hope. He's just like Culture Club songs too much. Is it Karma Chameleon? Boy George, is that what you're talking about? Do you really want to hurt me? That's it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sculpt versus articulation is the tension for me. It's the tension for sure. Yeah, it is, huh? Pins never bothered me. They never bothered me either. But it is nice when you don't have them every now and then. You're like, you don't even notice that you don't have them. You're like, wow, they hit those really well. I'd rather have pins too. Okay. Yeah, see, it's tough. It's a fine line to make everyone happy. But I don't know. What do you guys think? The guy in the black, I don't know his name. I think he looks the best. His outfit is pretty cool. Yeah, they all are pinless, aren't they? They've hit all those joints. You're right. There's that elbow there. You can see it a lot more clear in this picture right there. Face sculpt. Never really had a problem with Joy Toy face. Portraits. These look good. These look really good. And I'm sorry, I forgot who mentioned it, but they're all different heights. They're all different size, which is nice too, because we're all of us are different. So it's nice that the figures pull that in. I have some pins not placed right from a factory. A little heat fixed it quick. It is pinless. Yeah, I remember sometimes a pin would start to kind of come out, and you'd have to like push it in with a point of something sometimes. Kaio Kusinagi. I don't know if I said that right. That's a cool name though. Kaio or Kaio. If the articulation is great, I prefer pinless. Yeah. I grew up with the rivets in the arms. Pins aren't an issue. Yeah, I know, huh? I got a lot of and it's funny because it, like, for this guy, this was the Super 7 Raymar. I like the figure so much, I don't mind the metal pins in him, but I know I had a couple comments on the video where I talked about him where people was like, I can't stand those pins. Doesn't bother me that much, not as much as I thought it would. There is something nostalgic about that, having those pins. I don't want it on all my figures, but on this one it works for me. I want the American team with the Bogart brothers. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Um, let me see. Can I do that? Let's just go like this. I'm gonna look real quick. Bogart brothers. I forgot what it's called already. Is it? Oh, oh, we're jumping ahead. We're jumping ahead. King of Fighters. Let's see what they look like. So I don't know anything about. Oh, is that the twins? Yeah, yeah. I saw these guys in the original picture. You're right. Yeah, these dudes look awesome. And again, I was thinking, is that this game? I don't know enough about it, but those two look like the Bogart brothers. Remind me of Double Dragon, right? And then this guy looks a little bit like Ryu. This guy looked a little bit like Guile. Is this King of Fighters? Is it kind of an amalgamation of all those games? And they said, oh, we need to have brothers. We need to have a Japanese guy. We need to have a guy like with the hair. Is that what this was? That what it is? The big guy is 13 centimeters, almost 5.4 inches. Wow, he'll be one of the bigger figures I have then. My Gramps fixed an old school 5 POA Yoni with a nail through the hips. Still a favorite for a long time after surgery. Yeah, that's cool. Double Dragon. Wow, throwback. I love Double Dragon. My brother and I used to play that all the time when we would try to go. My mom every now and then would take us to the good old days of the pizza. And they had an arcade and the pizza where you bought pizza. Pizza parlor. That's what I was trying to say. And if they had Double Dragon, my brother and I would just beg to play that game. I was always the blue. He was always the red because those were our favorite colors. We loved that game. No, they're from Fatal Fury. Okay. Okay. Roster. It's fired characters from Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting. Oh, okay. So it's a whole bunch of games. Okay. Okay. Multiple SA. Oh, okay. I did not know that. That makes sense. Well, then they have the amount of guys that they can pull in. Then it's a lot more than I thought. It's an annual game by SNK having characters from its different games going head to head. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like a cool game. Yeah, a fighting game. I do like fighting games. I mostly was a Street Fighter guy. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat, but I was more Street Fighter guy. It's a great series of games. It sounds like it. And if you had one of those other games and you had a favorite character, then you could play him in this game, which is really cool. That's a really good idea. That's great. I hope this line goes far. Joy Toy usually doesn't disappoint. In fact, they just pump out so many figures so quickly, it's quite difficult to keep up. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, but I love King of Fighters too, maybe even a bit more. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's this game, probably a lot of people's favorite. Seems like the King of Fighters started in 94 and continues today. Really, it's still going. Interested that it jumped to 98. Guess it was a good year. Yeah, maybe that was peak. Or maybe the most bought, or I don't know. It's huge in Latin America. Oh, is it? Okay. The symbol and the King of Fighters, it sounds really familiar, but I just never played it. But there was a time, when Street Fighter got so popular and then Mortal Kombat got really popular, there was that era right there, those 90s, when there was so many fighting games. And then then it was Marvel and like all the different IPs had fighting games, and there was just too many. I just didn't, I just only played a couple of them. But these look really good. I did pre-order them. Yeah, they look great. Can't wait to get them. All right, let's move on. Let's move over to the next one here. Another like Haya. Toys Alliance feels like they've been really quiet this year. I'm not sure if it has something to do with the politics and the tariffs and all those things. But they did kind of coming soon announce 3 new items, 3 new figures. It was so big in Mexico that they started adding Mexican characters. Oh, really? That's cool. Blanca from Street Fighter was my favorite. Perfect for a Beast custom. Yeah. Yeah, and that they didn't they do a Blanca when Jazzwares had the Street Fighter? They did a Blanca. Um, very expensive, very hard to get that one. I think, if I'm remembering correct, I do not have it. Those look awesome. Not a fan of Acid Rain, but some of the vehicles are cool. Yeah, so it looks like I'm not an Acid Rain expert. I know Jeff's still here. He knows a lot more about Acid Rain than I do. These do look a bit like Kit Bashes, though. Kit Lao, Kit Bashes, get it? Of some of the other figures, because this one here, he looks like he has the helmet, that little thing in the back of the paratrooper Ashikari, because I didn't get this one. I almost did. I mean, there's some newness to him, but then it looks like there's pieces that they reused and maybe, yeah, a different paint. I can't quite tell. They look pretty good, though. They look pretty good, Army Billows. In fact, this blue one and this one, they look like they're the same, right? But one is this color and one is this color. Yeah, he's got the same vest even, it looks like. I have seen a Blanca 118. Okay. I need the mutant monster from the new JP movie. We'll take some paint and a Blurk saddle, but it could be fantastic. It could be. Hey, Jason, welcome. Welcome to the party. Yeah, I've started to see leaked images of some of the toys for the new JP movie. Yeah, I wasn't sure initially if these were new figures or not until I saw the mech vehicle, but they're cool. Building out this faction's ranks. Yeah, so it looks like they are kit bashes and repaints of other figures. Probably really good still. But I don't think these are figures that I am going to get. I don't believe they've come up yet for pre-order. But I really like the vest, that gun. You can carry that gun in the front. It looks really good. It looks like the gun breaks down into a couple pieces. They look really good. It looks like they used the arm of those two brothers, or I have it, Misharu. I forgot their names, but I can kind of see some of the parts here. But I'm just not an expert to go, oh, that's this guy's leg and that's this guy's chest, and I don't know him that well enough. But I think for me, these are probably passes. If I was going to get one, I think I like this blue one and the green one here. I don't think I would get this sort of vehicle mech thing here. I don't think I would get that. Bike looks great. Most of the figures are kit bashers and overpriced. Yeah, they are. There hasn't been a lot of newness with the Toys Alliance stuff lately. A couple people, I was thinking, last time Grime City was here, shout out to Grimey if you're out there. I remember he came in and said, he's kind of burned out of Acid Rain because it was kind of the same thing recycled over and over, which a lot of lines do. But it does seem like they've slowed down a bit. But pumping out new characters. Not sure what's going on with that. Hopefully they're doing well, and the business is going well, but I really don't know. It's been a really quiet year for Acid Rain, I feel like. They suck. Bummer. McFarlane's 118 Avatar figures and mechs were awesome. Yeah, I did like the human character, and I bought the sea crab, like the sea vehicle, the crab looking vehicle from the McFarlane Avatar. It was pretty good. I like the blue one. It's kind of a SWAT police. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he does look like a SWAT. He could, huh? He could be a SWAT trooper. I hope they make a Hammond collection version of the mutant monster. The base figures of action gimmick. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, articulation. I want them. I haven't seen much of the Hammond collection anymore. I'm not sure. I think it was a Target exclusive. The Hammond stuff was Target exclusive, and none of the Targets that I've been to have had anything for quite a while. Has World of Halo been discontinued? They were awesome and hard to find. I think the world of Halo has gone strictly to the Jazzwares vault. If I'm, I could be mistaken. And there has been a few new figures. Uh, Jason here in the chat, he's a big Halo fan. He probably could answer that better than I can. I have picked up a few things off of the vault. Actually, I have them over here in the closet. I built out a little Navy USNC Army squad. But yeah, they haven't had too many new things either lately, have they? Not that I can think of. But I like those figures a lot as well. Most action figures for dinosaurs are a con and not a pro. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. A bit tired of the lack of color in Acid Rain. It's like more blue and orange Nos faction. Also more Annex 29. Yeah. Yeah, that's another. They haven't really done any Annex stuff this year. Not even up for pre-order. Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered any Acid Rain in a while. I had passed on these guys. This guy, this Jakku. I passed on him. I passed on this guy. I passed on the Hellbender Infantry. I passed on the Spencer. But I did grab this guy and this guy. So when was that? March. So I haven't placed a Toys Alliance order since March. Is Jazzwares Vault a store? Yeah, it's their website. It's kind of like their Hasbro Pulse. If you look up Jazzwares Vault, it should pop up. That's really the only place I've seen the Fortnite stuff now too. The 118 Fortnite. I think the Vault is the only place to get those now too. Everything's kind of gone to the Vault for Jazzwares that I know of. Yep, the online store offers. Yeah. Yes, online like Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, I just ordered my first Toys Alliance figures. I got a red bike from Acid Rain and a weird guy from Annex. Got some AliExpress. Oh, cool, Pinker. When you get those, I'd like to see what you think of them. I've noticed you've been getting a lot of the 40K stuff lately on your Instagram. I've tried to like it when I see it. But yeah, let me know what you think when you get those. Some people don't like them, Some people the proportions are wrong; they're too expensive. The paint, is kind of blah, or the colors are kind of blah. But I really like them. I just haven't been inspired enough lately to get them. If I was, I'd probably grab this Hellbender Infantry and the Spencer. But I passed. I've just passed on the last few ones. This big guy here and this little guy. Were the last two things I ordered in March. Jazzwares 118 vehicles are so good. Yeah, they are. They're great for customizing too. I remember Sentinel knows they did a little pickup truck that is terrific, man. It's like I forgot what it's called, like the bear or the wolf or something. It's awesome, man. If you get it, it's like a 2-door pickup truck with a open bed. Great vehicle. Which weird guy did you get, Pinker? Anyone see any new Warhammer figures? I'm hoping they make new Tyranids, but so far it's just the 4 offerings. I have 2 of the Muggernauts. They're awesome. I got a email saying that I don't order 40K stuff. But I did order one figure, and it said that it had shipped. Let me see if I can find it. So I've really just been getting the turtle stuff. I did get my Krang showed up. Showed up just like 2 days ago. But I ordered that female from 40K. She looks like an elf. I don't know if I can find her here. She looks like an elf, I think, with like wings. But I got notification that she is shipped. I don't know if she got lost or it's just. I don't know how you guys feel too. It seems like it probably because of the tariff war and all that the shipping's gotten way slower now. Like when you order something from China, like it just takes way longer to get here. Just discovered your channel. Algo made me come as a 375. Oh, well, welcome. Mechanized. I think that's how you say that. Welcome to the party. I hope you'll consider subscribing. Which weird guy? Anyone seen you? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm losing track here. Thank you guys for commenting, though. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to keep up here. The Warthog from World of Halo is great. That's a great one too. Wish I would have got another one of those. Even when I saw them on clearance, I should have got a second one. I never did. The Joy Toy Warhammer out of my budget. The Warhammer $400 Demon is awesome. Yeah, I'm luckily I'm not into Warhammer because there's just so many figures. Oh, see, here's that solicitation for the King of Fighters, and now we can say these three here on the right, we got them. So maybe that means that we're going to get these three on the left next. Someone knows, is this the American team? Are those the brothers right there? And maybe we're going to get a female next. I hope so. I hope so. Let's see, where is that girl? I can't find her now. But yeah, she's like an elf-looking figure from 40K. That's kind of the last. Oh, here she is right there. This one, this girl right here in the middle. So I ordered her way back when, January. Said she shipped. Not the American team. Okay. As to shipping, I heard support's being backlogged from the importers not having the tariff money to pay stuff. Oh, okay. That's probably what it is. Those are the Akari Warriors. Oh, okay. Joy Toy Infinity has been quiet this year so far. Hope we see more of it. Yeah. I think it was Skellywags TV. You guys, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. I thought Skellywags TV mentioned in one of his videos that he thought that the Infinity stuff was no more, that they weren't doing them anymore. I don't know if that's true. I think it was Skelly that said that. I'm trying to think of where I heard that. I don't know if you guys watched that video. I'm sure most of you guys watch Skelly TV. If not, you should. He's got a great channel. The Warhammer 400 Demon is awesome. Yeah, but it's 400. That's so much. Toy City Boys, FAVH09. Oh, okay. That's who you, you got the boys. Yeah, that's a great figure. That's the Annex one you got, the boys figure. Yeah, that's an awesome figure. I only had the Bebop and Rocksteady so far. Got a bunch to catch up on. The Bebop and Rocksteady, I think, are probably the two best ones. I personally really like the Foot Soldier too, either version. But I think Bebop and Rocksteady are probably the two best ones. So you've already got the cream of the crop with those two. Those are two awesome figures. Two of the best figures from last year, I would say, in my opinion. Those are like top 3, 4, 5. The boys is a cool figure. Yes, it is. Warhammer 40K does have elves. They're called elders. Okay, so I got the elder there. If that's what that is. Joy Infinity has been quiet. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Those are the Akari Warriors. Not an American team. You reviewed 3 of the gold ones. They're so good. Are they? Yeah, I'm a bit behind watching videos. I've been so busy. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, Sentinel. No problem. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Hope you'll come back. Yeah, I thought they looked the best and would probably sell house. Yeah, I did. Somebody said it was in one of the solicitations, I think, for Locker Toys, that they did a rerun, or they did a second batch of some of the turtle stuff. I think because it sold so well, that they did a second, printing of them. Krang, Slash, and Toka are on its way. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I got the Krang, and I haven't, my Toka and Razor, or my Toka and Slash, I have not got notification on those yet. Excited for the mutants. Yeah, those look great. The turtles have not disappointed. They were my line of the year last year. For 118, if you watch that video. And I was thinking about this earlier, because it's hard to remember, like when December comes, like what your favorites are, and what happened and what did I get in January. What I suppose now, but I'm just gonna say this Snow Trooper, this vintage collection Snow Trooper, early candidate for Army Builder of the Year. This is a great figure, guys. You guys have this one. This is just the single carded. I guess he's only single carded right now. But this Snow Trooper is awesome, man. This is a great figure. I started opening the ones that I bought. He is so good. Articulation, the paint, the sculpt. This is an early candidate for Army Builder of the Year for me right now. We'll see if he can hold the top spot all year. Competition's always fierce. We're not even halfway through the year yet. This is an awesome figure. This is a great, great figure. Really happy with it. It made me a little more disappointed too that I wasn't able to get the Snow Trooper Commander in that 3-pack, because if he's like this, but he has the pistol on the side, and such a good figure. Such a good figure. I'll have to get some. Yeah, this is a awesome figure. Even if you just get one, I built a little army of them, but the problem now, putting it all together, where I live, it doesn't snow or anything. I don't know how, I'll play with them, I'll pose them up and stuff, but I don't know if I could really shoot them. I almost live in like a forest desert kind of area, like Northern California. It's like big trees and stuff like that. These guys don't really environmentally fit in, with what I've got. But man, they're a great figure. You will not be disappointed with this guy. He looks great. Is that the single card? Yeah, that's the single carded one. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Balin Skull's on my list. The top figures this year. Yeah, so far. Yeah, I have not opened my Balin yet. I need to open him. I'm way behind, guys. I'm way behind on my opening. I get, spurts, right? And then I get busy. I have like 3 other videos that I really wanted to do, and I just haven't got to them yet. Okay, so let's see. We talked about Joy Toy. We talked about Acid Rain. Okay, you know what I wanted to do? Good friend of the channel, Mecha Station. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mecha Station. I probably should pull him up here because his Instagram is different than his eBay store. Raul. So yeah, Mecha Station here. I wanted to highlight him. Good friend of the channel. He used to message, comment a lot on the videos, and he hasn't much lately, but we touched base on Instagram about last week, and he has been doing some world building buildings, and one of them was really, really nice, but I'm just not in the market to get any more buildings right now. But I wanted to highlight his page on eBay because he does really good stuff, and you guys maybe you're familiar with him, maybe not. Might be a resource for you guys later if you're working on anything custom. But good friend of the channel. He does really good stuff. I've bought quite a few resin printed greebles off of him, and I've used them on custom buildings. He only has these 2 items up right now, but he's always putting new things in here, including like buildings. So I would just keep an eye on his page if you're interested at all. I know a lot of you guys do customs, and a lot of you guys can do some of this stuff, but if you're like me and you're not really good at doing that kind of stuff, this is a very reasonably priced alternative, really good quality stuff. He ships it really fast. I bought in a lot of stuff from him over the years before I even did YouTube. I was getting stuff from him, and we just kind of connected over Instagram and then here on YouTube. But really nice guy, really good products. I just wanted to put it out there. I actually have this piece here that my cursor's over. I have one of those, but I have bought in quite a few. He sells a lot of items like this. I have this one. I might have this one on the top too. He sells them in bundles, and then you can paint them and customize them any way you want. Very cool. Um, ships them quick, packs them well. I think they're a good price, a good deal. You can order with confidence from him. He's a really good guy. Here's his. I'll put this in there too. You guys hopefully are following him already, because he does kind of post some of his things when he has like new things for sale. He might post them on here. I think he sells things painted and unpainted. I usually buy the unpainted stuff and I use spray paint. Just got the big white sheet for Snow Trooper train. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. Use baking soda for snow effects. I hadn't thought of that, Jason. Thank you. Yeah, his Greebles look great for customs. Yeah, they are. They're reasonably priced. And he does there's lots of different ones. He does, I'm not sure how maybe he makes a batch of certain ones and then he'll kind of put 4 or 5 together and sell them as a group. But yeah, he's a nice guy. The race platform is nice. I watch Famine paint one. Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's the thing. If you're into painting, get them from him, but he also sells them painted sometimes, where he's done the work. I think they cost a little bit more if he paints them. Obviously, he takes the time to do that. But shout out to Mecha Station, Restoration Hill Witu. I don't know how to say that, but you see it right there. That's his other page. Nice guy. Talked to him several times in the comments here on YouTube and once or twice on Instagram. So really great guy. Give him a shot if you're interested at all. All right, so that was kind of the news I had. I just wanted to kind of share Mecha Station stuff with you guys. Might try to do that as kind of a regular, part of the show. Kind of highlight people that are hooking up world builders like us. If you're not inclined to doing it yourself, I don't have a 3D printer. I don't have a resin printer. So it's nice that people like him are out there selling those kind of products, and they're good products at a good price, and you can paint them up, customize them any way you want, stick them on anything you want. He is one of my go-to guys when I do custom stuff. If I'm doing like a building for Greebles and things like that, I probably purchased off him at least. He could probably tell you better than I can. Probably 4, 5 times, maybe 6 times. Speaking of world building stuff for sale, Joy Toy shop has gone quiet. Yeah, he has. He was full for a while, right? He had like 6 or 7 items for quite a bit, and then got quiet. I mean, maybe he's probably working on something special. Yeah, actually, I got messaged today by someone that I just met on Instagram. He messaged me, nice guy, very polite, and said, "Hey, I saw your YouTube channel. You got a lot of Empire Toyworks stuff. Are you interested in selling anything?" And I was like, "No, not right now." And he's like, "Okay, well, if you do, let me know." But nice guy. But yeah, haven't seen anything from Empire for quite a bit. He finally sold out. No flat buildings, no droid carts, no buildings. I'm sure he's working on something though. But yeah, it's been a while. You're right, Jeff. All right. So I had a couple different topics. I've gone back and forth. I thought, we've been going an hour and 20 minutes almost. Thought we just really quickly, the last time we were here, thought it'd be fun to just kind of talk about, there's still a few of you here, about the Andor season 2, if you guys have gotten to see it, the Tales of the Underworld, and the Marvel's Thunderbolts. Those are kind of like the 3 kind of big pop culture kind of possibly toy centric, we hope, kind of things. Did you guys get a chance to watch those yet? What did you think of them? Finished Andor last week, and I have to admit, man, it was pretty good. Compared to the first season, I thought the second season just blew it out of the water. This second season was so much better. Nothing wrong with the first season. I thought it was pretty slow. There was only like 1 or 2 episodes that I thought were really, really good. This whole season was great. The ending was, great ending. really, really good. Really, really good. Haven't seen the final few episodes, yeah, but it's been so thrilling. Yeah, it's been really great. Didn't like Andor season 1, but season 2 was awesome. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Um, Only a couple episodes of season 1 that I really like, but season 2 just hit. There was in each group of the episodes how they released them. There was at least one that had some good action in it. I'm a big kid, so I like to see the lasers and the fighting and all that, as well as the drama and the suspense. Um, but yeah, the ending was really good. Um, really happy with it. It's one of those things now that it's over. I'm just like, man, kind of sad it's over. Um, but really good show. It made me watch Rogue One. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do. I'm so behind. I have so many YouTube channels. I'm gonna watch Multiverse and Bob. As soon as my show's over, I'm gonna go watch that Fresh Monkey Fiction one. I have a lot of stuff to catch up on. Right, same. Yeah. Did you guys catch the Tales of the Underworld? Did you guys? I think it's been out for a couple weeks now, about 2 weeks. Did you guys were you able to watch those? It was kind of split up into two separate stories. One was about Cad Bane and one was about Ventress. Not yet. Okay. Okay. Well, no spoilers here. Don't worry. No spoilers here. They were both very good, and they both left me wanting more, both of those two stories from the Underworld. And it was just reminded me just how good Star Wars can be, especially like animation wise. They could just do so much. Creatures and all these different things that they can do that are a little harder to do in live action. But they were really, really good, both of them. I think probably, I'd say if I had to say one was better, probably the Cad Bane story was a little bit better than the Ventress one. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. Cad Bane's story was awesome. Yeah, it was. It hit, didn't it? It was tough. No spoilers for Andor. No spoilers here. Everyone says it's amazing. Thunderbolts was surprisingly good. Great. It's the best Marvel movie since Endgame, in my opinion. I would tend to agree with you, Jason. I would too. Looking forward to them. I like those characters. Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it if you get a chance. I would try to, at least if you do watch it, if you have the time, try to watch, them in the, if you can't watch all six at once, watch three and then watch three like as a complete story, if you can. I don't know what your time is like, and it takes a lot of time to watch them. I think it was like an hour and a half to watch all six. I think it's about 45 minutes for each one, but I try to watch them in a group like that. It presented, it was, a really good coherent story. Do we think these Ventress or Bane tales will be part of the Maul show? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I hope so. I hope so. Why not? I mean, well, the thing is, I think, I'm not sure now. I think they're in different time periods. The stories, the two underworld things. So I don't know. I guess it's always possible that those characters can show up in the Maul, but it felt like the tales. They showed us these stories, but those could be like their own cartoons if they just wanted to give me 3 seasons of Cad Bane and 3 seasons of Ventress. I would be totally for that. There's a lot there that they can do. Anyone get any of the new Captain America movie? I did. Yeah, I watched it again this week. I got the Blu-ray from Amazon. It came in the mail. My wife doesn't like the movie. I do. It's not as good as Thunderbolts, I don't think. But I watched it for a second time this week. We watched a lot of movies this week. We had like a movie week. I ended up watching the original Predator. Predators. It's like from 2018. Then we watched that movie with Adam Driver. It's called like 64, 65, where I don't know if you guys, I don't want to spoil that movie either, but he's like, it's a science fiction story. It was pretty good. Watched a lot of movies this week. I want Star Wars to be more like Andor and the Cad Bane story, more gritty and adult. Yeah, that Cad Bane story was hit really hard, and so did Andor. So did Andor. Um, yeah, it was good. It was really good. It was so much better than the first season. In my mind, it's like almost like two different things. Like the first season, I almost feel like I wish they could have. I know there were stories in there they wanted to tell, but I almost didn't need it after this season. We need a Ventress figure that takes on the takes. Yeah, she's my favorite Star Wars character. Ventress and Ahsoka got the most development. They did, huh? Throughout the Clone Wars. Yeah. It shows you don't need Jedi for Star Wars to be good. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Figures from the Captain America. Oh, okay. Look, last Star but finished for the kids. Yeah, I did. I got, they only made a couple. And that's one of the things I was going to touch on with the Thunderbolts. They didn't even make, for our scale, they didn't even do any epic heroes. At least the Cap, they did a Red Hulk, a Cap, and a Falcon. They didn't do anything for the Thunderbolts. And I don't know if that was maybe the rating of the movie. I'm not sure. Was it PG-13 or something? I don't even know what it was. But I don't see why they couldn't have done figures for it like they did the Cap movie. Or the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardian of the Galaxy 3 got those epic hero figures too. Even got a ship, right? Um, but that was more, kids tend to watch the Guardian stuff a little bit more. But I thought the Cap stuff's all right. It's epic heroes. It's a lot like the DC Spin Master stuff. It's not quite as good as like the old Marvel universe, but still, it's pretty good. There's still something there. And I think as like for a kid line, if I was a kid and I wanted a Captain America from the movie, I just watched the movie. It's a great thing to pick up off the toy shelf, for $10 or less. But not the greatest line, but I still really enjoy the ones that I have gotten, I have liked. Um, yeah, and 65. That's what it was. I said 64. I think it was it's like 65. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. I think it's a year or two old now. It was pretty good. Did you watch Prey? Yes, Prey. That's the other one we watched. I watched Prey too. So I watched like 3 Predator movies this week. I did watch Prey. You're right. That's the other one we watched. And then we watched the trailer for the Badlands, the new one. So maybe we'll go to the theater to see that. I don't know. I think it's out in November. We'll see. But we were kind of on this Predator thing this week, my wife and I. So we watched 3 Predator movies. Um, Still love the original, though. There's something about the original, and it still holds up, I think. Predator is my favorite movie of that franchise. Predators. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want the Haya figures. I know it made me go back and go, you know what? Maybe I should go and grab some of those because I have a few. But there were some really good ones that I passed on. And I remember Ben from That Damn Figure Show. Ben hasn't come to one of the live streams here in a while. But he's really into those Predators. And he had like the War Chief. He had a couple that I wish I would have got now. So who are not good. Yeah, so see, yeah, Tech doesn't like them. Though they're a bit smaller than the 118, they have really fallen in love with the Spin Master's new line of How to Train Your Dragon figures. Okay, yeah, we talked a little bit about that earlier. The dragons are great, yeah. Yeah, dragons do look good. I was thinking putting some Boss Fight Studio like orcs or knights on those dragons. Could look pretty good. Marvel Universe was for adult collectors. Yeah, I missed that line. The new Cat movie dropped the ball on Sabra. They really toned down her Israeli background in the reshoots. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that character. Yeah, she was small, man. She was real little. Like in real life, that actress, she was real. She can't be more than 5 foot. Real little. I watched the Prey Comanche language version. It was cool. Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. I watched the normal version. I've heard about that though. Prey was amazing. There's 2 new Predator movies coming. One animated. Oh, really? I did not know that. Yeah. Boss fight output is so bad. I know. I know it is. They owe us a lot of stuff right now. They're way behind. They're always way behind. That's my thing with them is um, they've been in business. They just celebrated like their 10-year anniversary, I think. Isn't that what it was? Their 10 years. It's 10 years and they still haven't got the production like, from pre-order to production, like if they say it's going to be here in May, that it's here in May or whatever it is, they're always behind. They're always behind. The Animated is a TV series of it. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Will that be an adult cartoon? Like anime, or is that going to be like, it's got to be. Predator is kind of tough, right? Because it's pulling people's spines out of their backs and, you know, doing, ripping heads out of, looking at skulls. And, some of it was, could be pretty brutal, but lots of fun. Lots of fun. Yeah, it looks like to be pro. It's okay, cool. Cool. And welcome back, Sentinel. Welcome back if you you left for a little bit. But yeah, anybody else see the Thunderbolts? I tend to agree with Jason. It's probably the best Marvel movie in a while. I think I'm all caught up now. I couldn't get through the Marvels, the Captain Marvel 2. I didn't like that movie. But I think I've seen everything now. I'm all caught up. I haven't watched the web or the Disney Plus Agatha. I think that's the only Disney Plus show I haven't watched. I watched the Daredevil. I think I'm all caught up on Marvel right now. Thunderbolts is good. I enjoyed it. And they are a company that came out after Boss Fight and far surpassed them. And they're coming. Yeah, you're right. There are. I want to catch Thunderbolts sometime soon, but waiting for Cap America to drop on D Plus first. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I collect the movies, so I did grab the Blu-ray when it came out off of Amazon. Gave me a little discount. Sabra in the comics is 6 feet tall and can lift like 50 tons. She fights Hulk on occasion. She kicked his ass in Union Jack miniseries. Oh wow, really? I think Cat Force already on D Plus. Oh, is it? Yeah, I haven't watched it on Disney Plus since I have the Blu-ray. Just threw it in, put it on. I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And the Thunderbolts played a lot on it, didn't it? It did. I after the Thunderbolts, I didn't realize. Well, the what are they calling him? The U.S. agent. I'm really like digging his character now. I didn't care for him so much in the Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier. He was good, but now I really like him. They really fleshed out his story, his character even more so in the movie. Yes, the actress is too small and thin. Yeah, she's real small. She's real small. I think like Harrison Ford's sitting in a chair and she walks up to him and they're like, he's still a little bit taller than her, it looked like. And he was sitting down, in a chair. She walks right up to him on his side. And I was like, wow, she might be like 4'11", 4'10". She's like really little. Check the trailer for that animated Predator. It's brutal. Uh-oh. Okay. I will. Yeah, so the trailer for Badlands looked really good. Yeah, I'm not big on the Alien movies. I don't really watch them, but I did like the Alien vs. Predator movies. I'm more a Predator guy than the Alien guy. I don't like scary sci-fi. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'm not a big into jump scare science fiction. I like a little bit, just a little bit, but the Alien movies were like so scary. I watched the first one when I was little. My dad showed it to me, and my mom got mad because I was too little to be watching something like that. The face hugger and all that. And maybe it scarred me. So I'm just not big on the Alien movies. But I did like, them when they fight the Predators. I like that storyline. I like that whole idea. Um, I saw May 28th. Gonna check now. Okay. Dude stole the show. Yeah, he did, didn't he? You're talking about the U.S. agent. I forgot what they call him in Thunderbolts. What he's called. What his real name is. Not enough Winter Soldier in the Thunderbolts. Yeah, maybe not, huh? Predator. Both Predator movie and series look awesome. Yeah. Not into horror or over the top ridiculous. Try to get you to pop a blood vessel. Yeah, me either. Me either. They turned his shield into a taco. Yeah, obviously, I don't think it's made out of vibranium, but maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not into horror, being scared, but I can do aliens. Yeah, yeah. The aliens, it's like that genre is just right in the middle, right? It's sci-fi, but it's scary for some reason to me. The idea of like the monster, and always had all the dripping, like the drool, because I've seen several of the movies, but I don't rewatch them, and the mouth within the mouth kind of thing. It just creeps me out. I looked up the actress. She's 5'2", same size as you. Okay, well, I didn't mean to say you were small. I didn't know you were 5'2". Everybody's 7 foot tall on the internet. You didn't know that? Yeah, she's pretty small. She's pretty small, and so are you, Kim. More power to you. Um, I saw my first horror film at 8 years old, and I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, you are. You are. I'm sure. You used to sleep with the lights on and, you know, a knife under your pillow. Yeah, you're fine. Uh, Go watch Aliens. It's great. It's so different from the other Alien films. Okay, I'll consider it. I'll consider it. U.S. Agent is a great character in Thunderbolts. You can really see that he's Kurt Russell's son and Sentry is Bill. I didn't know that until after the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, it is. Yeah, he looks just like him. No wonder. But yeah, U.S. Agent, his character, I really like him like a lot more now from the movie. I'm pocket sized. Yeah. Did you see the Godzilla series where he plays young Kurt Russell's character? No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. This was like my first. I didn't, I watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I didn't know that was who he was. So I've only seen him as this character. If I've seen him in another movie, I didn't know. And Bill Pullman, he's one of those actors. When I heard that, I was like, well, who's Bill Pullman? I look, I'm like, oh, he's just in like he was the president in, what was it, Armageddon or he's in like every movie. But I didn't know his name. I was like, oh, that guy. Yeah, I've seen that. I've been seeing that guy since I was little. He's been in every movie, for years. Yeah, good stuff though. I always though look at it with that toy collector eye and go, I want that figure. I want that. I hope they make it a figure. Please make it 118. Please make it 375. Here's hoping that maybe, you never know, maybe Haya will get the Predator license back and start making more figures from the new media. Someone else, maybe Joy Toy, maybe, I'm not sure. Is 20th Century Fox made Predators, right? And they're owned by Disney now, aren't they? I think. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters is the name. Okay, I'll take a look. In the comics, U.S. Agent was a beast when he was first introduced, stronger than Captain, unstable. Okay. Yeah, that's got me interested. I almost went to the comic book store today, and because I haven't been for a couple months, and I was like, I wonder, that might maybe Thunderbolts. I did get when I went. I have pointing over here because I have the comic book over here because I went to Thunderbolts on the first day, or I guess the second day. They did give me a free comic book, a Thunderbolts comic book. I haven't read it yet though. Have to go have a. Okay, yeah, Pinker, thanks for coming. I don't think we're going to be on too much longer. Um, Bill Pullman was Lone Star Spitballs. Yeah, that's another one he's in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's great in that movie. But yeah, Pinker, thanks for coming. Always appreciate seeing you. Let me know when you get those Acid Rain figures what you think. We'll be curious to see what you think. Thunderbolts is so different in the comics. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with them. The end of the movie was I did not see that coming. That last like 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, what? Oh, wow. I was, pleasantly surprised how it kind of wrapped up. But I don't know anything about the Thunderbolts. This was my first time. Very good. Yes, Disney owns Fox now, so the Alien Queen is a Disney princess. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know if the Predator aliens, if they will get figures for those. Maybe. The Era of Thunderbolts were Juggernaut, Swamp Thing were on the team. Oh, those two were on the team? Wow. Okay. That's cool. Didn't know that. All right, guys. So I think that's going to be the show. Thanks for coming. I do appreciate you guys coming out. Seemed like we had a few more people this time, a few new people. So thank all of you guys for coming. I'll try to quickly run through here. I know I'm not going to hit everyone, but thank you guys for coming. I do appreciate it. Tech, Sentinel, Jason, Pinker, Figures Out, Cami, Jeff, Jabalong. I know Bob was here earlier. Sure, I'm missing someone. I know I'm missing someone or a few people. But even for you guys that didn't comment, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. If you ever want to chat about anything, you can hit me up on Instagram or leave a comment to this video or any video. I try to answer every comment. I do appreciate you guys coming out. I am working on more videos and doing more with the channel. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I really do look forward to doing these live streams. I just don't have the time, and I'm not sure there's enough things to talk about that I could do one every week. But you never know. Someday maybe we'll get there. But for now, we're going to keep the schedule how it is. Thank you guys for coming. I do appreciate it. Again, message me if you want to chat. I know several of you I've talked to before. Thanks for the show. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Good night, everyone. And keep an eye on the channel because I do have one video. It's almost done already. And then I've got a couple more in the works. And I think I'm going to try to do more Star Wars. We'll see. And change a couple little things up on the channel. Hopefully by next live stream. We'll see. I don't know if I could do it, but we'll try. So thank you guys for coming out. Do appreciate it. I'll see you in a couple weeks and hopefully a video out in the next day or two. All right. Bye now.